My chosen sport is skimboarding. The factors affecting its performance is kinesthetic sense, anticipation, technique, and consistency. Anticipation is very important in skimboarding because you need to know when to start and when to stop skimming. If you don't anticipate the surf and sand, skimboarding can be very dangerous. You can only skim on sands when it's wet. If it's dry, the board will still slide, but when you add your weight onto it, it will stop abruptly and you will face plant. If it's too wet, then you will be staying afloat and you won't be able to get as much speed and you won't be able to skim as far, and therefore it won't be as enjoyable to ride, and you won't be able to turn as well. But if you go towards a wave, you have to be sure to be either going very early or very late. If you go early, you must be able to ride up the face of the wave without catching on the front of the wave, and if you go late, you must make sure that the wave is completely broken, otherwise your board will stop and you'll keep going. Consistency is a great thing to have when skimboarding, as skimboarding is such an open skill because of the surf and every skim is different from the last. Consistently skimming without losing balance or falling over is quite a challenge for cognitive and early associative skimmers. However, autonomous skimmers can continuously skim for hours on end in constantly changing situations, easily whilst performing various tricks. As you can see, I'm continuously skimming from various points on the beach, not losing balance or misinterpreting the surf. In fact, since I'm in the autonomous stage, I can interpret the surf and know where to go without actually looking. Kinesthetic sense is internal feedback on what and how you're performing a skill. This is used to know how to balance when skimboarding on the beach, as the sand is on a slope and you constantly have to shift your weight so you don't fall when skimming. But also and predominantly when you're going over waves, so you have to constantly shift and adjust your weight so that you can stay above the water's surface. There are also various other environmental factors such as the surf conditions, the tide, the weather, and anything else that is going on around you that can affect your performance. Just like in any other action, technique is necessary if you want to achieve optimal results in skimboarding. Here is applying in normal speed, but as you can see it's very hard to pick up the steps, so I'll break it down for you. Step 1. Anticipate where you're about to skim. Step 2. Line up the board parallel with the ground. Step 3. Start to run and cast out the board in front of you. Step 4. Take several steps to be able to catch up with the board. Step 5. Jump onto the board, trying to land with both feet on at the same time. Step 6. Use your arms and legs to be able to balance so that you can continue skimming until you reach the end. This is a serial skill because it has multiple steps in it. As well as mainly grace, there are also some fine elements which can be introduced into it, such as placing your fingers into the ground to be able to make you spin. Whee!